there, guys. Let's get started for week 2 of our summer review. I am so proud of those of you that have completed your first full week. I hope that that's helping you get back into school. We're going to get started right away with our morning review, our language arts morning review. Then we'll jump into our math morning review, and then we'll finish up again with our everyday math pre-teach and review packet as well. So let's get started. The first thing that you should always do is make sure that your name is at the top of the paper. I know that you're probably getting sick and tired of hearing me say that, but these are just habits that we have to make sure that we're forming in school. So I'm going to keep telling you. Okay, so once your name's on the paper, you'll notice with our language arts, and some of you guys are saying, oh, this is so easy peasy, but it's really more than just that, okay? It's really understanding that in this section of our morning review, we are focusing on the long vowel A. And we've talked about this a lot throughout the year, that long vowels can be spelled different ways. So we have our long A sound or letter A, and it usually comes with some kind of magic E at the end, like for example in the word whale. We also have where two vowels are together, A and I, and they both say A, because when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, right? And then we also have a Y, and the Y is sometimes a vowel. We say vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. So in the same scenario, two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, and it says its name. It's long. So these A's in these combinations are still long A's. Now you'll notice that even though they kind of have their own pattern, if you will, they'll follow their pattern within each word. So you'll start to pick up, and if you do some word study, we'll start to see and identify where just an A, a long A with a magic E at the end, comes into place, where AIs fall in place in between a word, two consonants, and then when AY ends at the end of a word. So if we study and really look closely at words, we can find kind of patterns and clues that are really quite interesting. So it's more than just, oh, I know how to spell whale, Mrs. Cohron, or I know how to spell rain. It's really studying actually the word and how the word is put together, okay? So for the first one, for whale, it should be W-H, which is a blend. I tie those two letters together because they make us the same sound. But we have the long A here, and we have that silent E on the end. Okay, and I like to go like this when I'm doing phonics groups in class, right? We silent that A or that E out at the end because we don't say, well, we say whale, but you don't hear the E, okay? So we also have rain, and that's going to be AI. Now, I want you to notice that this AI falls in between the middle of the word, okay? Just like sail, S-A-I-L. See how the AI pattern falls in the middle of the word. Cake is going to be just like whale. We have the long A, but it's because we have a magic or silent E on the end that makes that A long. Spray, this SPR is a three-letter blend. Spur. And then we say A, and that's actually AY. And notice it falls at the end of the word. I want you to see if you can think of other words that have a long A sound at the end of the word, and write those out and see where the AY falls. It's quite interesting. And then we have train. This again is a blend, but the AI is in the middle of the word. See how that works? Word study is very interesting. It can actually be pretty fun. So we'll continue some more of that this year when we move into 3rd grade. All right. The next one says, did he sprain his ankle playing Twister? And it says, what do you notice about this sentence? Well, the first thing I notice is it has a capital letter and it has a punctuation mark, which is a question mark, because it's asking a question. I also see that we have a long A, sprain, right here in the middle of the word. And we have playing at the end. Now you might be picking up on this since we were talking about adding ing and how we double the consonant at the end of the word. And remember, why wouldn't we spell playing P-L-A-Y-Y-I-N-G? And if you said, or if you're thinking, because Mrs. Cohron, Y is sometimes a vowel, that's why we're not doubling that consonant there, okay? Anybody catch the capital letter in Twister? This is a noun but it's a proper noun, okay? So you might be saying, well, why is that capitalized? Well, it's because it's a special noun. It's the name of a game, which makes it important, okay? So we don't have to actually write it out. It's just, these are some of the things I identified. If you see anything else in this sentence that you want to bring to my attention, let me know. Okay, let's move over here to our prefix in. Now, what's kind of cool about these prefixes is last week we did the prefix un, which meant not. So this time it's kind of cool because in is a prefix. It's not a suffix. It doesn't come at the end. Prefixes come at the beginning. Here's your clue right here, this little dashed line. Because after the little prefix in becomes our base word, okay? So in means not. So let's think about these words. We have incomplete or not complete, incorrect or not correct, inactive or not active. I hope a lot of you are being active this summer, running around, getting outside, playing, swimming, doing some of your sports. Okay, so let's see. We could say, it says use the affix in a sentence. Affix is the entire word all put together. Complete would be the base word. Correct is the base word. Active is the base word. The affix would be the whole thing put together. Okay? So use the affix in a sentence. We could say, the boy was inactive. You could put a girl if you want to instead, or you could put my sister or my brother. We could say the boy was inactive. And if he's not active, he's just kind of sitting there. I'm going to make a boy. And we're going to have his little eyes. And actually, I'm going to kind of make him look like he's sleeping. Okay? He's not doing anything. Here's his hair. All right. So he's inactive. He's sleeping. He's not up and moving around. Make sense? Okay, let's come down here to this bottom box where it should say number 12. Again, if you're not on 11 and 12, you're not on the right page. Okay, so let's look at 12. Again, it says add ing to each word. Don't double the consonant. Don't double the consonant. So waiting, W-A-T-I-N-G. Listing, I-N-G. Feeling. Now, why aren't we doubling the consonant? You're probably wondering, right? Because if we go back in time, let's finish these. Sending, mailing, spraying, painting. If we go back in time and look at last week, I want you to look at something. There is a difference here, okay? So here's our sheet for today. Here's last week. Okay, this is kind of the fun part again about word studies and really looking at words. Here's the consonant, okay, that was at the end. Do you guys see that? Let's just look at these 4. What do you notice comes before this consonant? What letter? What do you notice? There's a U, an I, an A. If you said there's a vowel, you are correct. So if there's a vowel that is before the last consonant, sorry, I said continent, consonant. If there is a vowel before the last consonant, you're going to double it. See that? Okay, so we almost have to be word detectives. We have to get out our magnifying glass and we have to really look at these words and study the words. If there's a vowel before that last consonant, you're going to double it. Notice in this one, for today, we don't have, wait a minute, do we have that? We don't necessarily have that. So, let me look at it. There's a vowel here, there's not a vowel there, there's not a vowel there, there's a vowel here. Okay, so we have a double, we have a long E, we have a long A, we have a long A, we have a long A. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. sometimes, so when we see that there is a consonant, we're not going to double the vowel. When we see that there's this long vowel, let me look at the other one again. Oh, look at this. Ting. This is a short U. Short U. Short. Clap. Swim. Skip. In. Pat. These are all short vowels. Let's look and see if this one has short vowels. This is a long A, just like the A's that we went through up at the top, right? EE says feel, long E. So if there's a long A vowel consonant before that, long A vowel right before the last consonant, right? We're still not gonna double the consonant. We'll keep working on this, okay? This gets kind of fun as we start really breaking apart words. All right, let's take a look at the bottom. It says, circle, it says proper nouns name a certain noun. You guys know that. Proper nouns are capitalized. They're important. Circle the capital letters and box the punctuation in the sentence. So we have a capital letter here, we have a capital letter here, and then here is our punctuation at the end of that sentence. Okay? All right, finally, this is one of my favorite parts of the review. It is our vocabulary. So it says, use underlined clues to help you find the meaning of the bold word. The example says, I thought the ball would hit me, but it barely grazed my head. So the person thought it was going to hit them, but it barely did. It grazed the head, so it just touched. It didn't dance, it just touched. Okay? The fruit was so old, it was black and decaying. So would it be cooking if it was old and black and gross, or would it be rotting? So decaying means rotting or to rot. Even the trees were swaying in the strong wind. Swaying, does that mean moving or growing? If there's wind, it's probably moving, right? And the last one says, you must obtain your own license before you can drive. You must get your own license before you can drive, or you must shop. You must get, right? You have to get your own. What I want you to do is I'm challenging you, try to use one or more of these vocabulary words today throughout the day. See if you can impress your parents by saying that you grazed past something or that you must obtain something of your own, okay? All right, good job. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out. I want you to check your work with mine. And again, remember, you can always stop and pause, rewind, go back and listen to a portion of this video. That's the beauty of digital learning. Okay, let's take a look now at your math. So you should bring over your math packet, your morning review, and you'll want to make sure that you're, again, on the boxes that say 11 and 12. I know it's not day 11 and 12, but that's what box we're on because we're cruising right along, right? Okay. Let's take a look at this one. Make sure your name's at the top of the paper. And you guys know how to do this. This is fractions. We did this towards the end of the year with e-learning. All right, so it says, use the shape to answer the question. So here's our shape. I hope all of you are going, it's a square, because that's right. And it says, what is the whole? So remember, in a fraction, the whole is the area of the shape, the whole part of the shape, okay? That is the whole. So they did that one for you. It says, what is the shape of the whole? Well, we already know this. It's a square. Okay, so they gave that one to you. The next question says, what is the part, or I'm sorry, what is the shape? What is the shape of a part? So here's part of the whole. What shape is that? It's a triangle. It's actually a right triangle. Here's the right part of the triangle. Right, there's that angle. That angle is a right angle. It says how many parts fit in the whole. So here's the whole. You have one part, two parts. So there are two parts that fit in the whole, right? And then it says shade a half. How many parts are shaded? So shade a half. And how many parts right now are shaded? We have 1 out of 2. We have half of it. 1 out of the 2 parts are shaded. So 1/2 is 1 out of 2 equal parts. How many halves are in one whole? Well, here's a half and here's a half. So how many halves are in one whole? 1, 2. That should be pretty easy peasy. We're gonna keep working a ton on fractions when we get back to school. Okay, let's take a look over here where it says draw the missing picture, then write the answer. We've got some carrots. And it says we have 3 6s. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, and they're wanting you to draw the rest. 2, I'm just gonna make X's. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we really have 3 plus 3 plus 3. Do we agree? Oh, not 3 plus 3. We do not agree on that. Just kidding. First mistake I've ever made. We have 6 plus 6 plus 6. 6 plus 6 plus 6. We also have 3 times 6, right? There's 3 groups of 6. So we have 6 plus 6 is 12. That's a double stack. That's something you should know that fast. So think 12 and count up 6 more. So put 12 in your head, hold it there. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ooh, let me get my finger in here. 18. So 3 6s is equals 18. All right. NZ has 11 markers. Russell has 6 markers. What is the difference in the number of markers? So we need to circle. We have 11 markers and 6. Our unit is markers. And the question is, what is the difference in the number of markers? When I was reading this, I don't know about you guys, but my first thought was to automatically want to add them. I don't know why I do that. But then there was a clue. There was a math clue, and the clue word was difference. That's going to tell me that I need to subtract. So we have 11 minus 6. Okay? It says Enza has blank more markers than Russell. So we have to figure this out. We can do 6 and count up to 11. Or we can do 11 and count down to 6. I always like to count up. So I think 6 in my head, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that's 5. So Enza has 5 more markers than Russell. You could do 11 and count down by 6. So you could say 11, put 11 in your head, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And we got the answer 5. Okay? Good work. If you need to rewind this video to replay that to have a better understanding, go for it. And then catch back up with me once you are finished. All right, the next part says use the ruler to measure each box to the nearest centimeter. This is easy. Remember, we are always starting the beginning of our object at the number 0. If your ruler's over here at 3 and you want to say, oh, 1, 2, 3, you're not measuring it correctly. So you want to line it up to 0. And then I like to draw a line at the very end. So box A is 10 centimeters. Box B, 7 centimeters. And box C comes all the way up here, 4 centimeters. Box blank is the longest. Which one was the longest? Box A. Box blank is the shortest. Box C. Let's take a look at these base 10 blocks over here. Some of these equal groups, it looks like. All right, there are 8 10s and 4 1s. What is 50 less? Okay, so here are 8 10s. Let's just take a peek real quick. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84. They want us to do, it says, what is 50 less? That's my key word in math. I'm gonna take away a 50. So I'm gonna take away this one, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. How much is left is right here. Okay, so let's count that up. We have 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay, the next one says there are 3 10s, like 10, 20, 30, and 6 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is 30 less? So I'm going to take away 10, 20, 30. What's 30 less? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6 little cookies are left over. Okay, the last one says, circle pictures that show 1/4. Now, remember with fractions, you have to have equal groups. It's not fair if Garrison gets a bigger piece of the pie than Azan. So we want to make sure that they are equal groups. Even though there's 1 shaded in here out of the 4, are these equal groups? Nope, they are not. They cannot play. Here, though, each one of these pieces of this pie are the same size. Okay, so this would be equal. Triangle. Nope, they're trying to pull a fast one on us, okay? These pieces are bigger. We have to have equal pieces. This one right here, yes, it is. Look, notice the parts of the arrow are the exact same. Here's a tricky one. It kind of looks like they're equal, but they're not. Look over here. This part is skinnier than this part. I would be not very happy if I got that piece of the pie. I want the middle piece of the pie. So this one does not work, okay? All right, last part of our math review, because we're coming up on 20 plus minutes of our video. And I promised your parents it would only be 20 minutes long. So let's take a look. We've got coins again. Remember, the best way to learn this, guys, is to get a handful of coins out and study the coins, okay? These are actually, I can tell right now, these are all the same coin. What coin are they? They are a nickel. So we're going to count by 5s. Here we go. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, what? 35 cents. Make sure you say your unit. We don't have 35 dogs, 35 lollipops, or soccer balls. Okay? Good job. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Go back, rewind, review. But I hope that you enjoyed this morning review for today. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and then I'm going to get my everyday math review packet out. We only have 1 page to do out of that today, so get excited. All right, great job, you guys.